Happy New Year. Oh my goodness, 2018. It's 2018. That hasn't really quite sunk in yet. Yeah. Let's take a minute to let that sink in. Okay. All kidding aside though, really, like, that hasn't sunk in. I really wanted to film this video like a week ago for you, but I got hit with a really intense sinus infection that is still hanging on. It's tough, but it's one tough bug. So I apologize that I did not post last week. I actually had meant to keep up with my twice weekly posts throughout December, and I just can't catch a break with these illnesses. This third trimester has been kicking my butt. But nothing could take down my holiday spirit, my Christmas magic, my Christmas joy. We had a great holiday. It was difficult to navigate with me being so unwell, but we navigated, and it was great. We had such a good time. We had family in town. We were all together, which was really nice for Christmas Eve. It was so great to see all the kids together. Oh my gosh, just so wonderful. And I wouldn't have missed that for anything. No level of illness could have kept me away from that sacred family time. And I'm so glad that, our family could be together and celebrate together. So that was wonderful. Now it's New Year's, and I have been doing this kind of video for the past few years. I feel like I've been doing it pretty much, I can't even remember when I started doing these, but I've been doing them for years now. A New Year's goals and reflections type of video where I sit down in this kind of chit-chat casual way and talk to you about my thoughts on the past year and then things that I'm thinking about for the next year. I don't like the term New Year's resolutions for me personally, because resolutions sound so final and it just sounds so definite. And to me, it's more about ideas, plans, goals, if you will. Even goals can be a little bit intimidating, I think. To me, it's more like things that I aspire to be or do in the new year. And whether or not they happen, they happen. But there's kind of priorities for me going into the new year. This is a time of year where I tend to really be very reflective about the past year and where I feel like I stand and what I'm looking for in my life in the next year. So this is a very personal video. It's very personal topics. But it's something that I do enjoy sharing with you because I feel like a lot of us kind of feel the same way at this time of year, and it can feel a little overwhelming to be like, oh, well, I need to lose X amount of weight and I have to work this many hours. And I think it's nice to hear others' perspectives, and to, I don't know, it just helps. I feel like it helps me kind of form my own perspectives when I hear others too. And over the years, I have definitely gotten a lot less, I would say, structured and rigid with my New Year's goals, and a lot less specific, more general, more big picture things. And a lot of that just has to do with growing and maturing and experiencing life. So if you watched my one from last year, I actually did take some time to watch it back last week. I don't typically watch my own videos. It's very rare that I do go back and watch them after I've edited them, and I edit them and I publish them and I kind of let go of them. But I watched that one back because I wanted to see where I was last year at this time of year and where I've landed since. And it's interesting because a lot of my goals from last year are very similar to this year, but they're not things that I feel like I failed at or I didn't accomplish. They're just things I want to continue pursuing and working on and building on. So yes, let's reflect a little. 2017, my second year as a mommy. Charlotte's, from 1 to 2. Lot of fun and challenges and adventures and magic and hair-pulling moments. I mean, it's kind of a mixed bag when you have a really little kid. She is full-blown toddler now. She's like super little girl, super cute. It's been an adventure of a lifetime, and I've loved it. Even the really challenging moments, and there are, regardless of what people show on the internet, what looks like a perfect, I don't think it exists, family dynamic or life or whatever. Everybody has hard moments as a parent. It's just inevitable. It's part of it. But it is part of it, and it kind of makes the experience, I think. It builds character. It builds your relationship with your child. I've enjoyed it, even those hard moments. Not during them, but afterwards, I recognize how they are building. They're building moments. And it's been the joy of my life. I had no idea. I mean, I thought I knew going into parenthood that it was going to be a wild ride in such an awesome way and in such a life-changing way, and that it would be better than anything I would ever do in my life. I thought I knew that going in, but I didn't really know it. Do you know what I mean? Until I experienced it and continue to experience it, and it's been everything. So that is like big part of my year has just been mothering my child, and in the process mothering myself better and knowing more about myself and knowing how to take care of myself and feeling very grounded. I have never felt this grounded in my whole life. And that's not to say there haven't been challenging parts of my life. I'm not going to give you all the nitty-gritty details, but nobody's life is perfectly smooth sailing all the time. There are difficult things you have to navigate. Whether they're small or big or private or whatever, there are things you have to navigate. And I feel like having so much ground now has helped me navigate those things even better. I don't want you guys to worry. There's something like wrong or anything, but it's just life stuff. Things just happen, and you roll with them, and you move on. And my family is well. They are healthy and happy, and that's really all I can ask for. Not only my immediate family, but most of my extended family. We've had some, health issues with extended family members this year that have been a little bit scary, but even through that, everybody's spirit is up, and it's just, it's the power of love, man. Power of love. So things have been good. Things have been good. Not always smooth sailing, but good. And I think a lot of that has to do with just feeling just so much more myself. Like I've always been me, but I've never been this me before, or I've never been so accepting of who I am. And I think a lot of that has to do just with age and maturity, and also experience, like I said before. But it's really been extremely noticeable to me this year. I don't talk about religion here very often. It's not something that I choose to discuss publicly. It's just a personal thing I don't like talking about publicly. But I will tell you that my faith has deepened dramatically this year in unexpected and wonderful ways. And I've found such strength and purpose drawing from that connection. So I'm going to leave that at that. Like I said, I don't want to get into a big discussion about religion per se, but I will say I am deeply, deeply spiritual person. I always have been, and this year or 2017, it's now 2018, this past year has been fundamental. There have been fundamental shifts in my relationship with God. And that has been an incredible gift. That has been an incredible gift. So, yeah, that's been awesome. I'm sorry, you guys, if I look really like weepy. I'm not crying, I promise. I'm just still really sick. So I'm trying to keep it together because I really wanted to get this video out to you in a timely manner. Okay, so I think that's I could go into a lot more detail about the year. I just feel like that's a pretty good overall kind of general reflection of how I feel now at the end of the year looking back. I in terms of the goals I had last year, the one I didn't really get to was getting into a healthier place. I got pregnant. I started to get into a better healthy routine in the spring, and then I got pregnant and felt really awful for the first trimester and kind of fell off the wagon with that. And then the rest of the pregnancy has just been more of the same basically, and then just being ill. So that's probably the one goal I had from 2016 going into 2017 that I didn't really get to. I feel like there's a lot more I could do in terms of health, and I have a different perspective on that a little bit going into this year, especially going into the last stretch of my pregnancy, the last month of my pregnancy, and the last, and then having a newborn and going through that phase for a few months, and then all that unfolds with having 2 very young children and all of that. There's just not a lot of time for certain healthy endeavors, but I think I have a different mindset going into it. So I'll talk about that as we get into my 2018 goals. That's a good segue. Let's go there. Okay. So like I said, that's the one thing I didn't really get to, but I don't feel bad about it. It was something that I wanted to. I did not expect to get pregnant that fast. So that definitely played a part in that kind of falling off my radar. But I don't feel bad about it. I'm not sitting here at the end of the year oh, I didn't, work out 5 times a week and blah, blah, blah. I don't care. Whatever. It's fine. I'm doing fine. And it's just, the season of my life is not all about structured, regimented workouts. It's more about playing with my little girl and getting ready for my little boy's arrival. Okay, so I made a little flowchart. Here's my December favorites. Spoiler alert. In my bullet journal. This is something I did at the beginning of last year too. I didn't have a bullet journal then, but I actually added this in to this bullet journal. I went back and thought about it, and whatever. I'm not gonna get sidetracked there. I made a little flowchart. 3 big picture, let's call them aspirations, I guess. I guess you could call them goals, aspirations, whatever feels right to you. And 2 of them are the same as last year. Number 1, and they're not in any particular order. They're all kind of important in different ways. Create. That was my word of the year last year. I did one little word, and I will be talking about that more in a future video if you guys are interested. I will be sharing more about that. But create, to me, it's multifaceted. All of these 3 big things are multifaceted. So I've broken it down into 4 subcategories. One little word is a year-long self-reflection memory-keeping project that I participated in 2017. My word was create. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's not time-consuming, but it keeps you connected to a big intention throughout the year. This is an Allie Edwards project. You guys probably heard me talk about her before. She's my memory-keeping guru. I will link her one little word kind of spiel below if you guys want to check it out. You don't have to be a big memory keeper to do this. You could do it just in a journaling aspect. You could even just follow along and not create anything out of it, like physical, in terms of like a book or something. But it's a class, it's a monthly class that I participate in, and I can't say enough good things about it. It really did help me keep on top of a big intention of mine, and it was very effective. So it's something I'm doing again this year, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a little bit, about my word for this next year. Project life. So memory keeping is a big part of creating the create kind of goal for me. And it's something that I found in the last year is just really feeds my soul, and it just keeping those stories and memories alive in an album. It just speaks to me, and it's just working for me right now. It's just really, I love doing it. So Project Life is a year-long album. It's a weekly kind of spread album where you, it's pocket scrapbooking, where you just slip things into pocket page protectors. It's a little bit less crafty, consuming than like traditional scrapbook layouts, 12 by 12s. I mean, you can make it more time consuming. For me, I just pop in pictures, I pop in a couple cards that I journal on, and I call it a day. And that is just something I try to keep up with on a weekly basis that has just been meaningful to me, and I want to continue with that. And then create healthy habits. So this is where I'm taking that healthy category that was a big one for me last year and kind of condensing it, kind of just easing it in a little bit, because I know this year my body's gonna go through things with delivering another child and caring for another child and caring for 2 children. It's just gonna be a lot on my body, and I just need to create new healthy habits that foster that take care of me, that aren't about what I look like, but are more about what I feel like. So I'm hoping to eat better. I'm hoping just to take good care of not only my body, but my mind and my heart and my soul. So it's just a little bit, I think, gentler. I'm not setting like any sort of intention to work out 3 to 5 times a week. I will get to the workouts when I get to the workouts. I love working out. It just helps my brain really. But to me, it's just a little bit of a gentler kind of approach. And then lastly, create content, and that's this kind of thing that I'm doing for you here. Making a video, making blog posts. I want to keep up with my content as much as possible. I know it's going to be difficult for the first few months of this year, especially after the baby is born, but it is important to me. It does feed my soul. It is something I truly, genuinely enjoy doing, and I want to continue doing. So I will do that in the capacity that I can, but again, I'm taking a very gentle approach to it. And I'll talk about that more in my next pregnancy update, I think. Okay, next big picture goal, or I don't even know how to say this, highlight, family, big bold letters, family, another priority of mine that is the same as last year. So I have broken this down into 4 subcategories. My relationship with my husband is something that I constantly need to, work on. It's just, marriage takes effort. We've been married for 12 years. We are very blessed with our relationship, but it doesn't just happen naturally. You need to work at communication. You need to work at quality time. You need to work at all those things. So it's something that I like to keep on the front burner, if you will, because I think especially as a mother of young children, you can kind of, not you, but one can tend to kind of not deprioritize. I mean, that sounds terrible, but you can kind of deprioritize that when it really is very important. So it's something that I try to keep on the forefront of my mind is to prioritize that. Because we are the foundation of this family, and we need to take care of our relationship too. in order to take care of our family relationships. So that's very important to me. Time with loved ones is another subcategory, and this is more like time with extended family. It can be difficult with, our families having different schedules and people living in different places, but just trying to pick special times and moments where we can come together and be together and just be and just, be together. That to me is so essential. So those are things I want to focus on. Adventures both big and small. Travel, when we get up and about and traveling again, probably starting this summer. We have family reunion already planned. We'll probably go back to Utah. We'll definitely go to Utah. And then I'm not sure what the fall will bring, but some big adventures and then small adventures. Taking the kids to the parks or, to the museum, to the aquarium. And then even smaller adventures. Creative play at home together, making make believe and little journeys like that. They're all very important, and things that I want to keep kind of on the front. And then magic moments for my family. And again, this kind of plays into big and small, and it's just focusing on the magic and not getting kind of, I feel like one can lose themselves in sort of the mundane things that you have to do every day, especially as a parent. There's just a lot of little rituals and protocols and routines and things, and the minutia, it can kind of swallow you up. And taking time to notice the magical moments, even if they're teeny tiny, those are the most important of all. And they add up and they accumulate into real big feelings of love and joy. So that's definitely a big one for me. And then the last category for me this year is believe. And this is actually my word of the year for one little word. And to me, this word just really spoke to me this year. It was between that and another word, and I went with this one because I know this is going to be a difficult transition year. It is another big transition year for me. Adding in another family member, becoming a mother of two, and all of the, changes and what have yous that come with that. I am so looking forward to it, but I know it's not going to be a cakewalk all the time. And it will take some adjusting. And I think believing in myself and believing in, I'll tell you all the categories that I've kind of, all the subcategories. I just said believe in myself. I think that's really important. As a mom, you can have a lot of self-doubt. There's a lot of criticism and judgment, whether it's, outward or really kind of covert, from people both that you know personally in your inner circle and people you don't know. There's just a lot of pressure and there's just a lot circulating, parents, I think. And I find that really when it comes down to it, trusting myself, trusting my instincts, going with my gut, always is the best decision in terms of parenting things, and always pans out the best. And it's just really important for me to continue to believe in myself, believe in that I am capable, believe that I am doing the best I can, and that's the best I can do, and believing that just believing in me. So I don't know how else to describe that. Believe in my family. Believe in what we're all about, what we stand for as a unit. Believe in all of my family members individually. Really just, I don't know how to, I feel like I'm not verbalizing this very well, but hopefully I'm making some sense to somebody. Believe in magic. This is important. This is so important. There's just so much you could just get swallowed up by and miss all the magic. And there's so much magic everywhere. So that's important to me. Believe in kindness. in this day and age, there's just, I don't know, there's just a lot of negativity. There's a lot of things happening in the world, both globally, both, you know, just domestically, and even, you know, in your personal life, in one's personal life. There's a lot of negativity. There's a lot of things that can get you down or make you angry or sad or upset. And at the end of the day, there's still kindness out there. And sometimes you have to really look for it, but it's there. And you have to believe in it, and you have to believe in it in order to deliver it yourself to others. So keeping that in big, bold letters, believe in love. Love exists. Love persists. Love is always there. Always. Even in dark times. So there's that. And then believe in God. Like I said earlier, my faith has just really deepened this year, and it's just that relationship has become increasingly, I don't even want to say more important to me, because it's always been critically important, but it's deepened, and I just want to continue my work with that. So those are my goals. Those are my goals for the year. I feel like this video is very long. I knew it would be. Big picture things, you know what I'm saying? It's not like, I feel like a few years ago I sat down and I would write out all these little things, like I'm going to post 3 times a week on this channel, and I'm going to write this many blog posts, and I'm going to work out this many times a week, I'm going to do yoga this many times a week, and I'm going to eat this kind of stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But I'm just in a different place right now, where these more big picture, I would say gentle, big picture reminders are really helpful to me in shaping how I approach not only my year, but my day, every day. And yeah, it's just, I'm excited. I'm excited. Like, I could sit here and be scared and nervous and anxious about all the changes with the baby coming and all. I'm honestly not. I'm honestly not. I am excited. I know it's not going to be easy at first. I know it's going to be difficult. But there is just so much more joy and love coming this year with this new little one. And I am getting weepy. Okay, let's clarify. I can't wait, you guys. It's going to be awesome. We're going to have our complete family, of 4, 5. Winnie's definitely part of the family. And I couldn't ask for anything more. And I'm going to start crying. So I'm going to end the video there. So, yeah. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being with me this past year. I appreciate your love and support so much. I know it's been a journey the past few years, kind of me morphing into different kinds of content that I share and stuff, and I'm continually morphing. I haven't settled like really into anything necessarily permanently, but I do so appreciate all of you who stick with me and are interested and participate and chat with me, and it's lovely. It's lovely. So thank you for being with me this past year. And like I said, I do plan to continue to post content. I don't know how that will necessarily unfold for the first half of this year, really. But I hope to be as consistent as possible, and at least present in some way. And you guys, thank you so much for your support. It means the world to me. I wish you all a very happy and healthy 2018. And I will see you a couple more times this week, because I'm playing a little bit of catch up. So stay tuned for my December favorites and a plan with me. And that is all. Happy New Year, guys. Take care. Bye.